Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Router Navigation System series for WPF applications. In the previous video, we set up the basic structure of a hotel reservation application, created views like the hotel list view and room list view, and implemented navigation using the relay command and navigation store. If you're new to this series, I recommend checking out part 1 to get the application set up. In this video, I'll walk you through setting up the navigation service, and then we'll dive into configuring central router navigation for the WPF application. Let's start coding. In the last video, we saw that each time we navigated to a new view, a new instance of the ViewModel was created and passed to the navigation store's current ViewModel. This approach can become tedious, especially when we have to pass multiple objects through the constructor every time. To simplify this, we can create a navigation service to handle the navigation logic. Let's create the navigation service. Start by creating a new class called Navigation Service inside the Services folder and make it a public class. In this navigation service, we'll need access to the navigation store. We'll also need a function to create a new instance of the ViewModel whenever we navigate to a new view. Let's create a function that returns a base ViewModel and call it createViewModel. Since we're navigating to a specific ViewModel, we'll make this a generic service by using tViewModel, which will inherit from base ViewModel. So, we'll change the function's return type to iViewModel. Now, let's get these dependencies through the constructor. Finally, we'll create a public navigate method. When this method is called, it will use the createViewModel function to generate the new current ViewModel and set it in the navigation store. Let's register the navigation service in the dependency injection as a singleton. Since this is a generic type, we need to specify the ViewModel. In this case, we'll set it to hotel list ViewModel like this. When registering the hotel list ViewModel, we need to pass a function that allows navigation to a specific ViewModel. We also need to register that function in the dependency injection. Now, we need to register a function that returns an instance of room list ViewModel when navigating from the hotel list view to the room list view. To do this, we'll use the func delegate in our dependency injection. This function will retrieve the room list ViewModel using the service provider. What we've done here is register a func that returns a new instance of room list ViewModel whenever it's requested. This function will call getRequiredService, ensuring the ViewModel is retrieved properly from the dependency container. Finally, to retrieve the room list ViewModel from the services, we need to register it as well. Since this ViewModel may change with updates to the database, we'll register it as a transient service. Let's quickly register the other ViewModels in the same way as before. Now, in the ViewModels, we don't need the navigation store anymore. Let's remove that. Now, what we need is the navigation service, which we can inject through the constructor. Since we want to navigate from the hotel list view to the room list view, we'll retrieve the navigation service for room list ViewModel through dependency injection. Let's generate a constructor with this dependency. To navigate to the room list view, we simply call the navigate method of the room list navigation service. From the room details view, we need to navigate back to the room list view, so let's implement that just like we did before. Additionally, from the room list view, we need to navigate back to the hotel list view and also navigate to the room details view. Let's retrieve both navigation services in the room list view model, just as we did previously. Now, when we start the application, we need to set an initial navigation. To do that, retrieve the hotel list navigation service from the services and call the navigate method. Let's run the application to check the updates. As you can see, the navigation between views is still working using the navigation service. However, in this approach, we need to retrieve a navigation service for each view model and each navigation action. What I'm going to do next is create a central router to handle all of these navigation services in a more streamlined way. Let's create a new ViewModelRouter class inside the router folder and change it to a public class. Next, create a private read-only field for an iDictionary with a string key and a navigation service value. Before that, let's create the interface for the navigation service. In the Services folder, create a new interface called iNavigation Service. We'll add the navigate method to this interface and implement this interface in the navigation service class. Now, return to the ViewModelRouter class. For the dictionary, give that iNavigation service with a string key. Name the dictionary as _Reuters. Let's generate the dictionary through the constructor. Next, create a public method called navigator that accepts a string parameter for the URL. If this URL matches a key in the routes dictionary, we can call the navigate method of the corresponding navigation service. To register the ViewModel navigation services with the ViewModelRouter, I'll create a new HostBuilder. As you know, when we register dependencies, all the ViewModels and their navigation services are registered from a single location. Before moving the registrations to the HostBuilder, let's check the ViewModelRouter. To do this, we first need to register the ViewModelRouter with the dependency injection container. Now these are registered through the router, so remove those. When we register ViewModelRouter, we need to provide a new dictionary with string keys and iNavigation service values. Let's do that. First, register the navigation service for hotel list ViewModel. For the navigation service constructor, we will pass the navigation store and a function to create a new ViewModel. We will assign the key hotel list view to this entry. Next, let's register the room list ViewModel and the room details ViewModel in the same manner, giving each a specific key. Now, in these ViewModels, we no longer need the navigation service. Instead, we will use the ViewModelRouter. Let's remove the navigation service and add the ViewModelRouter field instead. We will obtain the ViewModelRouter through the constructor. Now, when we want to navigate to any view, we just need to call the navigator method of the router, passing the key that we registered with the ViewModelRouter dictionary. Let's assign the key for the room list view. In the room list view model, we'll remove the navigation service and replace it with a field for ViewModelRouter. When we need to navigate to the hotel list view, we simply pass the key hotel list view. Similarly, for navigating to the room details view, we will follow the same approach. Let's apply these changes to the room details view model as well, just like before. Now, in the startup navigation, we only need to get the ViewModelRouter from the services and pass the key to navigate to the hotel list view, like this. Let's run the application to see the updates. As you can see, all the navigations are still functioning correctly. This demonstrates how we can centralize navigation using the ViewModelRouter in a WPF application. Now, I will move these ViewModel registrations to a separate HostBuilder to clean up the main application. Let's get started with that. Inside the HostBuilder folder, create a new class and name it Add ViewModels HostBuilder extension. Make it a public static class. Then, we'll return a static HostBuilder with a method named addViewModels. This method will take the HostBuilder as a parameter. Finally, return the HostBuilder. Within this method, use HostBuilder.configureServices. Now, let's move all the ViewModel registrations to new method. Don't forget to add the necessary namespaces. Now, let's add the HostBuilder extension when building the main host. Run the application again. As you can see, all the navigations are still functioning correctly. In this video, we expanded our hotel reservation system by implementing a centralized navigation system using a ViewModelRouter. We refactored the code to remove direct dependencies on individual navigation service instances in each ViewModel, allowing for cleaner, more centralized navigation through keys registered in a dictionary. We also introduced a HostBuilder extension to neatly register our ViewModels and navigation services in one place. In the next video, we'll explore asynchronous navigation with our central router and learn how to pass parameters between ViewModels during navigation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching.